Now, we're here outside Parliament on this rather auspicious day. Now, you've got a letter there saying Boris Johnson is a big fan of the Bible. Would you like to explain who you are and how did you get Boris Johnson to write to you about that?
Uh, well, James, my name is Neil. I'm from County Kerry in Ireland, but that's not important. I have devoted my life now for a long time to explaining Bible prophecy regarding world events, especially not so much regarding individual salvation, because the pastors do that all over the country and the world. But prophecy, I think, is something that maybe is a bit neglected. And I've written to politicians in Britain and international as well for a long time, sending them pamphlets about prophecy. So I sent Boris a pamphlet around that time 23 years ago when he was assistant editor of the Daily Telegraph, and he replied saying that, thanking me for sending it and saying that he too is a great fan of the Bible.
Yes, and that's the letter right down there on your placard. Now, you're saying that today's activity, we're leaving the European Union at 11 p.m. tonight, you say that is connected to prophecy in the Bible?
Yes, I believe that the prophecies foretell many of the major events of world history, which you would expect from the God who gave us the world in the first place. The purpose of prophecy in the past, I think, was to help Christians identify the period they were living in. And of course, the book of Revelations, for instance, I believe is the history of Europe and the Middle East, sometimes in very great detail, up to the present time, and then of course the future. So Britain was a great power on the world stage, although we Irish have our own views of that, because we ourselves have had a long conflict. But leaving that aside, I believe that there's a power which will exist at the end of days, unquestionably, and it's called Tarshish, T-A-R-S-H-A-S-H. The description given is that it would be a merchant and trading power, a seafaring power, an island, and which would have the emblem of the lion. And also that at one stage it would rule the land of Israel. So taking all those things together, I believe that Britain is the only country that fits the description. Now the future says that Britain will take one role in Armageddon, really, the Third World War, but the European Union, which is called the Beast in Revelation, and there's incredible detail about the European Union, which fits exactly. For instance, they will hand their power to the Beast, handing over power to Brussels. A beast is an empire, not just in Revelation, but in Daniel as well. So that Europe and Britain will have totally different roles in Armageddon, and bearing in mind that there's now a European army being created, it's not too far-fetched to believe that Europe and Britain are destined to break apart, and I believe Brexit.
So you're saying that the UK and the European Union are destined to separate, and UK and the European Union might take different sides in the last days?
Have different sides in the final events of history, the military events in the Middle East, especially, and that therefore that Brexit undoubtedly, I think, is a step towards that final division.
Fantastic, thank you so much. It's very interesting. Now, you're an Irishman, but you seem to be very much positive about the UK leaving the European Union. Why would that be?
Well, I am, although economically it may have its drawbacks, and I don't think it will suit Ireland that well economically. In fact, there's a lot of misgivings, I know, but economics is really all about the bread and butter, earning our daily bread. But as Christ himself said, man does not live by bread alone. Although I'm the first to agree that people should have enough to eat, I don't think anyone should be hungry or starving. You can't preach the gospel into an empty stomach, as the saying goes. So that I feel that in a certain sense it's not going to be good for Ireland. But on the other hand, I feel that there's an overall destiny, providence itself is playing this role and making this decision, which of course will suit Ireland in the end when the Messiah comes.
Amen, amen. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.